Hello, I'm Sinta Danu, and today I'm just doing a really quick live stream because I do have Body, Mind, Spirit today. So I'm going to be there. So if you are looking for readings at a discounted price, then readings are going to be only $30 at Body, Mind, Spirit for today and tomorrow. So definitely check that out. It's in Colorado Springs at the event center. Just look up Colorado Springs Event Center and you can get the address, but definitely check us out there. Again, it's like 5 days until my next course, Astrology Basics Course. So if you want to learn about astrology, especially from a professional astrologer with over 15 years of experience and who has been mentored and taught this like their entire life basically, because I'm also a second generation astrologer, definitely check that out. So there's links in the comments to your birth chart, to get a free birth chart. There's links for scheduling. There's links to sign up for the newsletter so you can get Astrology Basics Course Introduction to Astrology. So the first class, the first workshop, it's pre-recorded. You can get it for free if you sign up for the newsletter. So definitely sign up for the newsletter. Check out the Astrology Basics course. There's also a link in the description for checking out that course, and it'll give you more information about what's included, etc. So that's super exciting. But I'm gonna get to today's astrology real quick because I do not have a lot of time. So looking at this, we have, of course, we have the moon conjunct Venus right now, and it did come with an orb at the end of yesterday, or really early this morning actually, probably, because, well, wait, 15 degrees. So that would have been 8. So we're looking at 16 hours ago is when this first came into orb with the moon conjunct Venus. So we started feeling the effects of that about 16 hours ago. Now the moon is still in Scorpio, so we're all going to be super sensitive, but it is conjunct Venus and will be for the next several hours, because we're looking at, this will come to be exact in about 4 hours, and then it'll still be conjunct for like up to about 20 hours after it becomes exact, so keep that in mind. So today's gonna be pretty good in terms of making money, receiving gifts, very spicy and nice for relationships. Scorpio is very intense, very sexy, so that's something to keep in mind with today. So really nice and hot for relationships. Definitely triggering this beautiful water trine that we've seen as well. So that's going to be lots of fun with that. Now, by the end of, well, by this time tomorrow, though, the moon is going to come into conjunct Pluto. So tomorrow is going to be a little bit more difficult. But let's go through how like this is going to look for today, because this is where the moon's at now. We have the moon conjunct Venus in Scorpio, very deep, very intimate, very sexy, also really good for relationships, good for making money especially as well too. But this is going to move a couple degrees every couple hours, right? So right now it's part of this beautiful trine and setting that and triggering that. So that is going to be really good for relationships, especially long-term relationships and long-term money-making endeavors as well. In a couple hours, it's going to move. Let's see. And it will trine Mars about this time. So this will be about 4:30 today. The moon will be in an exact trine to Mars. So that's when things might get a little hot, might get a little spicy. Definitely a lot of activity during that time. And the next 4 hours when it conjuncts Venus, that's going to be more love, romance, etc. But when it gets to hit Mars, that's when it's going to get a little bit more spicy. We might be a little bit more moody, get a little bit triggered. But it's in a very supportive aspect, so it's likely to be a good thing. After it hits Jupiter, and then of course in like in 2 hours it'll hit Saturn first, so that'll be interesting for like discipline, bringing that like very steady, realistic energy in. And then see, it's moving to in conjunct Chiron and Jupiter, which is really heavy, because this is actually making what is considered a finger of God, although it's with an asteroid, not a planet, so it's not quite as strong. But this will be really intense once this moon hits this degree right after midnight. All right, so this is going to be bringing a lot of energy to this point, because as you can see, there's this huge in conjunction. This is when it'll be very close to exact, is right after midnight. And it'll also be opposing Uranus. So this, this could be some really intense dreams, especially dreams that have to do with our deeper wounding or our wounded healer's journey, or dreams being very vivid potentially because it is in conjunct Jupiter as well. Not to mention, with this opposition to Uranus, we might be receiving information from the spirit world, from our higher consciousness in our dreams, especially about like relationships at this time. Now, if you are awake, this could be a little bit of chaos going on. For those who are up, there might be things going on kind of in your neighborhood or around you that's a little bit chaotic. I would be careful driving at this time just because of the opposition to Uranus. So, because Uranus can sometimes have to do with accidents, and it's a little bit of a chaotic energy. This could also lead to maybe some conflict in a relationship, maybe. Definitely, especially because like Chiron is triggering our deepest wounding with this, and Jupiter is like expanding that and making that bigger and more noticeable. So definitely kind of a sensitive time. I would try to be asleep at 12 a.m. I'll probably be sleeping at this time. Hopefully I'll be sleeping at this time. So definitely be careful of that. Let's see. And then that's going to come in to exact opposition to Uranus tomorrow, right around 10:30 a.m. So this might be a time where you're more noticeably anxious, triggered, getting lots of insights from the spiritual world. This is also kind of reactivating the kite formation, but not from within it, but kind of activating the things that were involved in the kite formation in the full moon eclipse. So this might bring up something that happened about 2 weeks ago. So that's going to be interesting. The moon, of course, will still be in Scorpio. Oh, it won't be conjunct Pluto until much later, but it'll be sextile Pluto by 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. And it won't be exact until a couple hours later, about 8 hours afterward. 6 hours after this time period. But it will oppose Uranus at this time. And so that's going to maybe bring up some anxiety, bring up a little bit of chaos, maybe a little bit of disruption in terms of income, money, and the material world. And then it's going to come to trine Neptune at about 2:30 tomorrow. So we might receive some deep spiritual insights. We might be really tapped into our intuition. We might receive more gifts, or be tuned into the gifts that we received during the eclipse, because it's activating Neptune. And then after that, it is going to come into that sextile with Pluto, which is giving lots of opportunity for growth and evolution. And it's activating some significant stuff. Around 6:30, it's going to enter Sagittarius. So at this point, we'll hopefully won't be quite as sensitive, because it'll be moving off Pluto. It'll be out of Scorpio. So this will become more of a time of like feeling a little bit more adventurous, feeling a little bit more open, feeling a little bit more excited, looking for new experiences. There could be a little bit of irritation with Moon in Sagittarius, where it might be a little bit more feisty than usual. But yeah, and it will probably trine the nodes day after. But so most of this good. Today is starting out pretty good with our conjunction to Venus, the trine to Saturn and Mars. So it's looking pretty spicy, looking pretty good for love and money and things. Tomorrow might be a little bit more agitating as we have that finger of God in the morning, and that's kind of irritating. And then after that, you know, coming into that full opposition with Uranus. And then later in the day, we're going to definitely be feeling more intuitive, more connected to our soul. As well, just like feeling better in general, it seems like. Especially once the moon moves into Sagittarius, where we'll be feeling a little bit more, maybe a little more antsy, feeling the need to get out, things like that. But yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about today because I am short on time. So again, I'm going to be at Body, Mind, Spirit all weekend in Colorado Springs at the event center. And I am doing my Astrology Basics course in 5 days. You have 5 days to get it for $125. Or you can also, in the next 5 days, you can get it for 5 payments of $25. After that, it is $200, and it will not necessarily be a workshop anymore. It might just be pre-recorded completely. So definitely jump on that because it's going to be more interactive. But I'm going to get out of here. Bye.